Okay, you guys, my name is Jen Cushman. I am an empathic intuitive and a Reiki master and a light worker and an angel medium. These are my Magic Mondays, and I am here every Monday at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time, which in Arizona, we never change time. So right now we happen to be on the same time zone as Pacific Standard. So it is 11:11. I don't know where you guys are in your time zones today, but it's always 11:11 here. 11:11 is the number of the seer. It's 11 4 times, so it's the number of the seer. It's also the number of spiritual awakening. So when I started my Magic Mondays 2 years ago, I wanted to put it at 11:11 because when my intuitive gifts really started to come in strong, I always see 11:11. And when I see the number 11, I know that my guides and angels are with me and all is well. Okay. So hi, Donnie. So nice to see you here. I can't believe you've been working so much. I can't believe you were able to check in live for a Magic Mondays. Welcome, you guys. That's awesome. So I'm getting a weird note about activating a stars party, and I have 4 minutes to do so. I don't know enough about Facebook, so I'm not going to activate a stars party, you guys. I don't know what it is, and if I don't know what it is, I'm not gonna click the button. Okay. Okay. Big deep breath. I need to center myself. I did a lot of work this morning to center myself, and I need to really center myself this time. Okay. Okay, you guys. Hi, Kelly Gustus. It's so nice to see you. Okay, you guys. The topic that I have today, I'm going to try to keep it as upbeat as possible. However, the topic I have for you today is not really an upbeat topic, but it's one that I really feel like I need to discuss in light of recent events, in light of recent events in the United States, but also in light of recent events that has happened in my own life and on our Magic Mondays here. Okay, so I'm going to do the very best I can to keep this as light as I can, but also give you some information. Because the thing about my Soul Star Magic and my Mondays is that we do not shy away from the truth. Okay, we are all warriors here, right? I have a community of sensitives, empaths, light workers, and that's what you guys are. You come to me because you are these light workers. So one of the things about being a warrior is that we need to be warriors sometimes, which means we can't shy away from negative things. We can't shy away from low energy, and we can't shy away from bad energy. What we need to do is we need to be a warrior. Now, I want you to understand that you can be a warrior and not have to be hard. You can be a warrior and you can have a tender heart. You can have soft heart, you can have compassion, you can have love, you can work with all of the higher energies, okay? But being a warrior means what we're going to talk about. The other thing I want you to know is that because of the topic that I have today, I have surrounded myself with love. I am wearing my love shirt. I have my love jewelry on. I have my heart that Kelly Gustus gave me that she got in Italy, a blown glass heart, and I have heart earrings on. So I am filled with love today. And the reason why is because love is the very strongest high vibrational energy that you can possibly have. There really is no other vibration in the entire system, in our entire unified field, other than love. Okay, so we are going to do and talk about this with love. Okay, so let me get to the topic today. Oh, and I also have my white crystal, and I have my hematite, my grounding stone, and I also have my black tourmaline, which is protection. Okay, I have my protection stones, and I have my crystal that my daughter gave me. So I have light and dark. Okay, so light and dark is our topic today. And the reason why I need to talk to you about it is because any of you that were here for the last Magic Mondays, I just want you to know I am very, very, very sorry if any of you got direct message by a dark entity, by a dark force that came in. So we had another one of those yucky people, very yucky people that came in, and I don't know whether it was a person, an entity, a bot. I'm not really sure what it is. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But we had them came in and they were direct messaging you guys, pretending to be me, asking for money and asking for readings. So Hitomi caught it because she's an administrator on my Soulstar Magic page, and she came in and she blocked the person and deleted it. So right up front, what I need to do is I want to tell you right away that that is not my energy. That is not our community. And if any of you are ever direct message by anything pretending to be me or Hitomi or anything like that, it is not true. I will never direct message you asking for money. I will never direct message you asking for a reading. I will not do that. I actually don't direct message anybody. If you direct message me, it takes me a little bit, but I will get in touch with you. So I don't do that, okay? The only thing that we do on Magic Mondays is I share the information freely. It's what I love, it's what I've learned, and I am here every Monday to just share the light, do the messages from my spirit team of my angels and guides. I am an angel medium, which means I work with the angelic realm, which is the highest light of the highest possible realm of all of the realms that there are. And we just give information. Now, Hitomi will always put the link in for an appointment. If you want to get a reading from me, she will always put in the buy me a coffee if you want to give me a tip, okay? So in full transparency, that is the only marketing that I do in my Magic Mondays, is that if you need me, I'm here for you. And obviously I do readings and I do Reiki and I do energy work. And obviously I am more than happy to accept a tip with the buy me a coffee, okay? Okay. That being said, I just need to get that out there right now. If anybody ever starts direct message you, if we get a bot, if we get anything, just immediately you guys block, okay? I do want to go back and say that the very first time this happened to me, I think you guys will remember Ken was here, Deborah is here, Hitomi, a lot of you guys were here. And it was the first time I got zapped by a dark entity. And I mean zapped because it hadn't ever happened to me before. And it literally was a zap. It was a psychic attack is what it was. And it was on the January 2021 Magic Mondays we were doing. I had talked to my team and my team said that it would be fun to practice and play with channeling. And so I was doing direct channeling and I was allowing you guys to ask questions of, it was like beginning of the year. So I was letting you ask premonition questions, other questions. Now, if you go back in our minds, in our history to January 2021, this was a hard time in our global collective consciousness, right? We were still in the midst of COVID. We didn't have vaccines yet. A lot of people were wondering if the vaccines were safe, depending on, I'm not getting into a political discussion about vaccines or not vaccines. I'm just trying to take us back to that time that was a little bit scary. And even though I had done all of my grounding, all of my protection and everything I did, we still ended up getting zapped by an entity. And you guys saw me go into instant warrior protection mode. And you could see that I was scared. And you can see, not really scared, it wasn't scary. It was unexpected. I was off center. And it did break the channel between me and my team. So it did what it wanted to do, which is to break the channel of the light that I was transmitting to all of you, that we were transmitting. And so it broke the light. And I don't know if you remember, but I had to take a big deep breath and I had to go back to my cards and I had to go back to my tools to realign and reestablish my energy so I could continue with the Facebook Live. So I know you guys, I don't know if you remember that, but since then, since that's happened, I made Hitomi an administrator to my Facebook page. I made my husband an administrator to my Facebook page, and I've put in extra protections because I'm not the best technological person. And if I'm going to get zapped, I will most likely get zapped in the technology because that's kind of an Achilles heel, a weakness for me. So anything you guys can do as my team to help shore up my Achilles heel, my weaknesses, which is to block, report, delete, all of that kind of stuff, the better that it is for all of us because it helps shore up my energy and it keeps this safe, protective space around all of us. Okay. 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 With that being said, I want to talk a minute about dark entities, okay? I want to talk about light versus dark, or light and dark, not really versus, okay? And I don't want to go into a big discussion here, but I'm going to try to hit the highlights the best I can. So, okay. So we've talked about the 7 universal laws. That was one of my Magic Mondays discussion, is I explained that there are 7 universal laws. These are energetic universal laws. One of the universal laws, thank you, take a breath. Thank you, Angel. One of the universal laws is the law of duality, which is light and dark. So that means that both of these things are true, right? Light and dark, both of these things are true. So we are light workers here, and this is what we are. Angel, you're gonna make me cry. Whew, feeling the energy, you guys, feeling the love. I know it's coming in because I can feel it so strong. So we are light workers here. And as light workers, we chose to incarnate, which means we chose to be born at this time in history, because we chose to be here to provide our own inner light into the world to help mitigate the opposing forces, to mitigate the dark entities and the dark forces. Now, I know it seems like we are in a brutal time in history, particularly in light of the mass shootings and the pain that has gone on, and the war in Ukraine that is going on, and the brutality that is happening in our world today. And I know for those of us who are sensitives and empaths, right, this energy is very, very difficult, okay? But it is our job, it is our purpose, it is our mission as light workers to stay in our light, because we chose to come here to make sure that we radiate that light. I don't know if you remember, but last week I was talking about each of us are a column and a pillar of light. And when the darkness descends, we can see each other, and we're almost like an underground railroad of light. And we provide hope, and we provide love, and we provide compassion. And yes, we provide warriors. That's who we are and what we do, okay? This is the time we were born for, just as Angel says. Now, there are dark entities that were born and incarnated in this time to do the opposite, right? Their job here is to create chaos. Their job is to create disharmony. Their job is to create an abuse of power, to continue a dynamic and a structure of inequity and imbalance and those kind of things. Now, I only work with the angelic realm, and I only work with the light. So I very rarely ever experience dark entities or dark forces, okay? Just because I'm protected, and I have a major protective team of warriors. But I want you to know what this is. Now, I'm not talking about good and evil, okay? I'm not talking about that in the biblical sense. I'm not talking about the tails of things, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm specifically not wanting to go there today. It's just too much energy. What I'm talking about more is what we see normal. This is what happens in our energetic world, and then it also manifests in our physical world. Now, these dark entities are people that come in, and more commonly, they are referred to as energy vampires, okay? So you guys, you know that term, right? Energy vampires. These are the people that you walk into a room, and somehow those of us that are feelers, we feel as if the air has been sucked out of the room, or that the lights just got a little bit darker, right? That the energy got a little bit thicker or a little bit heavier. And, we know these people. These people are self-absorbed. They can be family members, they can be lovers, they can be friends, they can be business partners, they can be, they can be next door neighbors, they can be anybody, right? They're human. They're just dark workers instead of light workers, and they walk amongst us in this world. And it's just is what it is, okay, you guys? It's just is what it is. And their job, what their purpose on life to do, is to take those of us that are here to be with the, to work with bringing the light and the love into the world and to center it and to just kind of keep the world more in equilibrium and balance, 6-6, equilibrium and balance. Those of us that are here with our purpose to hold the light and hold the space, the dark entities just want to make it harder for us, right? They want to get us off our game. That's all they're trying to do. So they create chaos, they create confusion, they can create bots, you know, they create technological glitches, you know, and really they create it by messing with the energy. That's what it is. So, you know, it's the energy, and that just happens. Okay. So yes, run. So the reason why I bring this up, and I'm just bringing it up for you, is one, we don't do a thing in our community. I don't do spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing means is that we use this love and light, and we only work in love and light, and we only do positive affirmations, and we, you know, we pretend like, you know, like the world is beautiful and we can make everything beautiful, like dancing fairies in the rain, right? That's not what we are. We are human. We chose to be here as human, and we are humans living a spiritual existence, just as we are spirits living a human existence. It's the law of duality. We are both, right? And we have free will, and humans have free will. And even when we cross onto the other side and we cross over and we transition into non-physical form, guess what? We still have free will. So there are dark entities on the other side. There are light entities on the other side. There are dark entities here. There are light entities here. Okay. It's just the way it works. Now, remember, this is my knowledge. This is my information, my training, and my belief system. If this does not work for you, you do not have to believe it, accept it, or live by it, or even have it resonate with you. I just share my personal belief systems and my feelings and my what I've learned with my team. Okay. Now I'm going to read you a little bit, just real quick, on the dark entities, and then I'm going to be done with this topic. Okay. I know you guys know, I'm sure you know Sylvia Brown. Okay. She was a pretty famous psychic. She was on the Montel Williams show. I don't know if you guys remember her, but she always sounded like she smoked like 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So she was on there always being, always doing her information. So this book, I just picked this book up at my library. Believe it or not, this one came in for $1 at my library sale on Memorial Day. And I picked this up. And whenever I find Sylvia Brown books, I buy them, because this woman was like, she was phenomenal, right? She was absolutely psychic and human all at the same time. She embodied all of it. So one of the things I love with this book, right? You know, this book is Sylvia Brown, It's Phenomenon, Everything You Need to Know About the Paranormal. So like everything that I teach on the Mondays, when I teach them, I want to introduce concepts to you guys, but I want to bring them down into the 3-dimensional, our physical world. And like, why does this matter? You know, what does this matter to you in your daily life as you go about your life? We spend an hour together. On the rest of our time that we don't spend together, why is this important? It's important because one of the things about dark is that it wants to, you know, it works in the lower vibrations. So it works in fear, it works in anger, it works in power over struggles, it works in narcissism, you know, all of those lower vibrations, as opposed to the light vibrations of white, which is love, peace, compassion, humility, hope, right? Those are the light, those are the vibrations. So dark works in the dark vibrations. And one of the things it really wants to do is create fear and create this feeling of being too scared for us to leave our house, too scared for us to speak our truth. And I'm always going to speak my truth, because I am protected, because I have angels and guides, and you are protected. So Sylvia Brown does this. And I just want to read it really quick because it's easier. She says it better than I do. Okay, let me read really quick. So this is what they want to talk about. Hi, Carolyn. So it says that in spirit form, their negative energy can deeply affect everything from mechanical and electrical devices to our mental health without us even realizing what's happened. But whether they're in human form or spirit form, the entities of the dark side all share these same basic qualities. Okay, and here's what I want you to know, because this is important. They have no conscience. They have no genuine remorse and no sense of responsibility for the actions. They take all the credit and none of the blame for everything that happens around them. And self-justification is their first and only response to criticism. Now, I want you to think back in your Rolodex. How many people have you encountered that you know that this is them, right? In psychiatric terms, they're true sociopaths. They mimic human behavior brilliantly without ever really feeling it. They can simulate extraordinary charm, sensitivity, empathy, love, regret, and even devout pity if they can use it to their advantage to gain the light workers, right? Our trust. Once the act is worked, as it often does, they promptly drop it, having no further use for it, and frankly, finding it to be too much work. We white entities, because of our emotions and our faith, are genuine. You guys, that's really important. Our emotions and our faith is genuine. We have trouble imagining that we've been witnessing a performance. You guys, that's key, okay? Witnessing a performance. So we stay around trying desperately to resuscitate that wonderful person we're sure is in there because we saw them with our own eyes, unable to grasp that a wonderful person never really existed in the first place, right? Mind blown. I want you guys to wrap your brain around that one, okay? If you have people in your life that just, you keep going back to and back to and back to, and you just know that there's a good person in there somewhere, if I can just get to that good person, if I can just show them the light, if I can just teach them the way, particularly harder if they're the ones we love the most, then it's all going to be okay, right? Not necessarily. As far as the dark side is concerned, we white entities are nothing but a collection of walking mirrors. If their reflections through our eyes are flattering, we're valuable to them. Got that? If their reflections through our eyes are flattering to them, we are valuable to them. But the minute that we catch on that we've been looking at a mask and they no longer like the way they themselves look in our mirror, they'll react in one of two ways. They'll either get as far away from as possible, or they will go back to the behaviors that sucked us in the first place. Now, they didn't say that. They will repeat the performance that won our approval in the first place in hope of winning again, okay? So these people, when they don't like, because we're catching on, right? We're catching on. They don't like the reflection. They're not looking as good as they once did because they're reflecting back in the mirror and we're starting to see the truth of them. They will either drop us like a hot potato and ghost us and get as far away from as possible, or they will repeat the performance. They will go back to the act to try to get us sucked back in and snare us back in again so that we can change the way we look at them so they can reflect a more beautiful mirror. That's what they want. Dark entities thrive by their own self-serving rules, which change at their convenience. They don't necessarily apply to anyone around them. In their minds, their behavior is always acceptable. They might become outraged or deeply wounded if someone else aims the same behavior that way. The result is that the white entity close to them are kept constantly off balance, which gives the dark entity that much more power. And then here's the other thing I just want you to know. The goal of the dark entity isn't to turn a white entity dark. This is really important, okay? The goal of the dark entity isn't to turn a white entity dark. They know it can't be done. This is the power, you guys. This is where light has power. They know it can't be done. Their goal is to extinguish the white entity's light, since darkness cannot exist where there's light. They don't necessarily try to destroy the white entity physically. More often, they simply create as much emotional turbulence, self-doubt, guilt, and depression as possible in as many white entities as they can seduce into trusting them. And then here's the last one that I love. This is where I think Sylvia is amazing. Dark entities rarely enjoy each other's company, with no light to extinguish, no flattering reflection to gaze into, and no control over someone with the same bag of tricks. What would be the point? Instead, they deliberately seek us out. And at least once in our lives, this is really key, you guys, and at least once in our lives, we're likely to seek them out too. It has nothing to do with being stupid. It has to do with taking our spiritual responsibility seriously and believing it is our moral responsibility to reach out to someone we perceive to be lost, troubled, or misunderstood. Okay, you guys, I just got chills on that one. Okay, I think the reason why this came up today is because it's so important, particularly in light of what has happened in recent events, particularly as you come here every Monday, as I come here every Monday, to shore up our light, to shore up our energy, to enjoy each other's company, to share this light worker energy. And then what happens is we may shut down our Facebook and we may go back to work, or we may go back to a partner, or we may go back to a best friend, or we may go back to a parent or a sibling, and we may get drained again. And without this knowledge, we don't understand why we're being drained again and again and again. With this knowledge, with great responsibility comes power. With great knowledge comes power. The power is that you can shore up your own light, right? You can shore it up. You can do extreme self-care. You can make sure that you are taking care of you. So these people, these dark entities, no longer see a flattering reflection of themselves in our mirrors. And then the other thing that's really important to those of us that are light workers is it is not our job to save anybody, not a lover, not a spouse, not a parent, not a child even, right? Not anybody. It's not our job to save other people. It's our job to live the best lives that we can and to shore ourselves up and to hold the light. That's all we need to do. Remember, the highest vibrations are love, compassion, empathy, confidence, beauty, right? Humility, gratitude, all of those things. And whenever you're feeling any of those lower vibrations, whenever you're feeling anger, jealousy, fear, disgust, envy, any of those lower emotions, because you are sensitives and because you are empaths, I want you to look around and see who's around you. And I want you to ask yourself, is this mine or is this somebody else's? And if it's somebody else's, you let it go. And if it's yours, then guess what, my friends? It is time to do some shadow work, because that's what shadow work is. Shadow work is being in a safe space so you can bring up your subconscious, you can bring up your emotional baggage, and you can figure out what it is so you can transform it and release it. Okay? Whew, that was a big one. I hope you guys are okay with today's Magic Mondays. I know that was a really intense one, but I really felt compelled. And when I did my meditation, I really, really, really felt compelled to talk about this, because I feel like just hitting the highlights of Magic Mondays is not really preparing us to be the warriors that we are, and for you to really understand who you are and what you are and how we come together and why we're here and what being a light worker is, and to understand that there are opposing forces, but it's not anything we need to be afraid of. Our movies make us afraid of it. Our culture, ghost stories, all that other kind of stuff makes us really scary, and it makes us fear these things. And that's the purpose. That's the path to do that. Okay. Okay. Whew. Whew. Okay. Now what I want you guys to do is we're going to thank you for all the hearts. We're going to shake this off. Okay. We are going to shake it off. I want you to like take your hair, and I want you to fluff your hair out, and I want you to shake it off, and I want you to breathe. And we're going to move our shoulders, and we are just going to really have a nice big breath. And we are going to call in the light, and we are going to call in the protection, and we are going to call in the love, 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 baby. And we are going to have the most amazing, powerful, badass week that we possibly can, because you guys, nothing can get us down. Why? We are light workers. We can do it. Okay. Okie dokie. Awesome. Thank you, Katie, Carolyn, and everybody. Again, if you guys, Carolyn said she logged on, please go back and listen to this from the beginning. I don't really recommend so much that you guys go back and watch the replays. Unless I feel like it's divine timing. I feel like if you catch them, you catch them. If you catch the replay, you do. But whatever it is, but this is probably one that if you identify as a sensitive, you identify as an empath and a light worker, this is probably one that you should watch from the beginning because it was a lot of channeled information. Okay. Thank you for all the love and the hearts, you guys. I really appreciate the validation of what I do. Okay. Okay, Hitomi is going to get things set up. I'm going to do a few card readings today. We got a little bit of it coming in. So I'm going to do a few card readings from my favorite Sacred Creators deck. And we're going to do that. And then while Hitomi is getting you guys up, I want to tell you, oh, Leilani's the first one up. Awesome. So I'm going to tell you really quick instead of waiting for the end. I just want to tell you about a brand new offering that came up. And actually it came up because of my experience with this. Last week was rough. I had a terrible Wednesday, Thursday. If you guys read my Facebook posts, you saw and felt and saw my being out of the flow. You could see that some dark entities had got into my space. And it took me a little bit to be able to get back to my home frequency. And I was a bit of a mess on Wednesday and Thursday. So I wasn't doing very good. And I kept getting all these really annoying crap that happened. Like people I love were hurt. And, I had a fender bender, which was no big deal. And, I got in a fight with a guy at the pool because I was off my schedule. Like there was just some shit happening. And I realized that it was dark entities coming in and creating chaos because I wasn't in my strength. There were cracks in my aura. There were cracks in my field that I was doing because I was outside of my normal protection, my self-care. So anyway, as I got back into my home frequency and I started doing all of my extreme self-care, I was doing a meditation and my guides and my team told me to do a new offering. And this one, I'm really excited. My angel circles did not go very well. I don't know what happened. They just didn't go. I know Susan came to one. Let's see, Lauren came to one. Carolyn did, and I think Sherry did. So I know some of you have come to my angel circles, but they just didn't quite take off. And I think it was waiting around for a reading. I'm not sure. But anyway, my team told me that after today's discussion about light and dark, what we're going to do is we are going to open up monthly energy healing circles. So we are going to have a Reiki energy circle once a month instead of the angel circles. I'm calling it a Reiki healing session. We're going to do it by Zoom. It's open to 25 people because in terms of energy healing, I can do quantum physics with quantum entanglement in the quantum field. I can do group energy healings. And I'm also going to teach about 10 minutes of energy work. So I'll teach you how to find your own energy, where your field is, and a little bit of how to start working with your own energy. Because one of the things they're telling me is part of my job, part of my purpose here now with Magic Mondays and with what I do is to teach you guys how to shore up your energy field so these dark entities cannot come in and create chaos in your life. And so you can recognize it quickly and you can shut down the mirror so they ghost you or, you change your energy. So once a month, we're just going to do them. I'm going to do them on the first Sunday of every month at 5 p.m. Arizona time. That does make it late for you guys on the East Coast. I think it makes it 8 p.m., but it's only for an hour. And we're just going to come in and we're going to have a great little energy field. Hitomi, if you look for it, so you can drop the link, it's under appointments. So soulstarmagic.com appointments. And if you guys scroll down to Reiki healing sessions, you can sign up for them there. Okay. And they're $33. That's the energy exchange. And once a month on a Sunday. Okay. So we're going to start this, see how it goes. And we're just going to do them every month until the end of the year. And we're going to play and experiment and see if you guys like it. Okay.